How now? Okay, so we're gonna do Macbeth. Again, I've heard of this. I don't know anything about it. Other people like it, I think. It's one of the more famous ones, other than like Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, stuff like that. This would be like third, probably fourth. If I've heard of it, as far anyway. Anyway, so Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 1, a desert heath. When shall we three meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurl-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won, that will be ere the set of sun. Where the place? Upon the heath, there to meet with Macbeth. I come, Green Malkin. Paddock calls. Anon. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air. Scene 2, a camp near forest. Enter King Duncan, Malcolm. What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the new estate. This is the sergeant who, like a good and hearty soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king, in knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it. Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless Macdwald, murthered to be a rebel for that, to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles and kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak. For brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook his hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements. Oi, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman, as whence the sun gins his reflections, shipwracking storms and direful thunders break, so from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice had with valor aimed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lords, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault. Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo? Yes, the sparrow eagles, or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks. So they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except the meant to bath and reeking wounds, or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. But I am faint, my gaseous cry for help. So well thy words from thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here? The worthy Thane of Ross. What a haste looks through the eyes, so should he look, that seems to speak things strange. God save the king! Whence camest thou, worthy Thane? From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by the most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Crawdor, began its dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom laughed in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude the victory fell on us. Great happiness! That now Swino, the Norway's king, craves composition, nor would we deign him burial of his men till he dispersed, at St. Combs Inch, $10,000 to our general use. No more than Thane of Carter shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth. I'll say it done. What he hath lost, no one Macbeth hath won. Scene 3, a heath. Where hast thou been, sister? Killing swine. Sister, where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Gimme, quoth I, aroint thee, which the rump-fed Ronyan cries, her husband to Aleppo gone, master I the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do. I'll give thee a wind, they're kind, and I another. I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the courtiers that they know. I, the shipman's card, I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep, sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary cynites, 9 times 9 shall be dwindle, peak, and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have. Show me, show me. Here I have a pilot's thumb. Racked as homeward he did come. A drum, Macbeth doth come. The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to 9 and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9, peace the charmed wound up. So foul and fair a day I have not seen. How far is't called to Forez? What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet aren't? Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at one her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be woman, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. Speak, if you can, what are you? All hail, Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis. All hail, Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor. All hail, Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter. Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? I, the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace, and great prediction of noble heaven and of royal hope. That he seems racked withal, to me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time, and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate. Hail, hail, hail. Lesser than Macbeth and greater, not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get king, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail. Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives. A prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe the strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you. The earth hath bubbles, as water hath, as ye are of them. Whither are they vanished? Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted? Down there below, as breath into the wind. Where they had stayed, were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner? Your children shall be kings, you shall be a king, and Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so? To the self same tune and words, who's here? The king hath happily received Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend, which should be thine or his. Silence with that, and viewing o'er the rest, o'er the self-same day, he finds thee in stout Norwegian ranks, nothing to fear of what thyself didst make, strange images of death. As sick as hail come post with post, and every one did bear the praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him. We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee. And for an earnest of a great honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine. What, can the devil speak true? The Thane of Cawdor lives, why do you dress me in borrowed robes? Who is a Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose, whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help or vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him. Glamis and Thane of Cawdor the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings? When thou hast gave the Thane of Cawdor to me, promise no less to them. That trusted home might yet enkindle you into the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you. Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs? Against the use of nature, present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes my so single state of man that function is smothered in sunrise, and nothing but what is not. Look how our partner's wrapped. If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir. New honors came upon him like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of youth. Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day. Worthy MacBeth, we stay upon your leisure. Give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered wherever day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king think upon that hath chanced, and at more time the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to the other. Very gladly. Till then, enough come friends. Scene 4, Forez, a room in the palace.
Success means redeployment. Failure means elimination.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not there in commission yet returned? My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that I saw him die. He did report. That was frankly he confessed his treason, implored your highness pardon, set forth repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied to his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed as 'twere a careless trifle. There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, to sin in my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest gleam of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say more as I do than more than all I can pay. The service and all the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, which do but what they should by doing everything safe toward your love and honor. Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known, nor less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart. Yeah, whenever I go to those, yeah. There, if I grow, the harvest is your own. My plenteous joys, wanted in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, veins, and you whose places are the nearest. No, we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you. Nay, the rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make my joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave. My worthy Cawdor, the Prince of Cumberland, that is a step on which I must fall down, or else ere leap, for in my way is lies. Stars, hide your fires, let's not fight. See my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, and yet let that be which the eye fears when it done to see. True, worthy Banquo, he is full, so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him. Whose care is gone before to bid us welcome? It is a peerless kinsman. Scene 5. Inverness, Macbeth's castle. They met in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report. They have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question from further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder, it came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on time with, Hail, king that shalt be, this have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing, by being ignorant of what greatness has promised thee. Lay to thy heart and farewell. Glamis thou art in Cawdor, and shalt be what art thou promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full o'er the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great. A heart's not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What should wouldest highly, that thou wouldest holily. Wouldest not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'dst have great Glamis, that which cries. Thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie these hither, that I may pour my spirits in thy ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid does seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings? The king comes here tonight. Thou mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Who wert so would have informed for preparation. So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead of breath had scarcely more than would make up his message. Give him tending, he brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal interest of Duncan, my battlement. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of dearest cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunction visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk of gall and murdering ministers wherever you may find my substances. You wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, Hold, hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant. My dearest love, Duncan come here tonight, and when goes hence? Tomorrow as he purposes? Oi, never shall sun that tomorrow see your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may need strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent's under't. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom. We will speak further. Only look up clear to all the favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me. Scene 6, the same before the castle. This castle has a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his loved men's mansionry, that the heaven breath smells wooingly here. No jutty frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed the air is delicate. See, our honored hostess, the love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we think as love. Herein I teach you. How you shall bid God I led as from your pains, and think us from your trouble. All our service in every point twice done, and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old, and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits. Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the hills, and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love sharp as a spur hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Nay, your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs, and can't, to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still return your own. Give me your hand. Conduct be to thy host. No, we love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him, by your leave, hostess. Scene 7, the same a room in the castle. If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with this circuitous success, that but this blow must be the be-all, and by the end all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the light to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, and no, that we put teach bloody instructions, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman, and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should again his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides this, Duncan hath borne his faculties to meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues with plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horse upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed on every eye, the cheers shall draw on the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which where it leaps itself and falls on the order. How now, what news? He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber? Hath he asked for me? No, you not, he has. We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be sworn, now in their newest gloss, now cast aside as soon. Nay, was the hope drunk? Wherein you dressed yourself, hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the name, in thy own act and valor, as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest, the ornament of life, and live a coward in thy own esteem? Letting I dare not, wait upon I would, like the poor cat I the adage. Prithee, peace, I dare do all that may become a man, who dares do more as none. What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man, and to do more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now doth unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boldness gums, and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn, as you have done to this. If we should fail, we fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall this day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the word of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When a swinish sleep their drenched natures lies, as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon that unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of a great quail? Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with bloody those sleepy two of those own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done? Who dares receive it other, as we shall make out Greece and clamor roar? Upon his death, I am settled and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. away and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart does know.
Squad is there now. Get this done on your own. Impact, no hit. Less than 25 was still standing. The enemy took that one. We'll get it back.
Loading new mag.
You're losing ground. Moving.
Alright, Macbeth, Act 2. Scene 1. Inverness, court within the castle. How does the night, boy? The moon is down. I have not heard the clock, and she goes down at 12. I take 'tis later, sir. Hold, take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that too, in heaven's summons lies the lead upon me. And yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me that cursed thoughts that nature gives way to it in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there? A friend. What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content. Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought. All's well, I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth. I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time. At your kindest leisure. If you shall cleave at my consent when it 'tis, it shall make honor for you. So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchise and legions clear. I shall be counselled. Good repose the while. Thanks, sir, the like to you. Go bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Go thee to bed. Is this the dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me cut thee. I have thee not, and yet I have thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to the feeling as the night? Or art thou but a dagger to the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, and from as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. My eyes have made the fools o'er the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still. And on the blade and dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is a bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now o'er the one half-world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams of use the curtain sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and whither murder are learned by a sentinel the wolf, whose house is witch, thus with his stealthy pace. There he is, with Tarquin's ravaging strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Though sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear the very stones pray to my whereabout, and take the present horror from time, which now sleepeth. Whilst I threat he lives. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives, I go, and it is done. The bell invites me, nay. Hear'st not, Duncan, for it is Nell that summons thee to heaven or to hell. The plasma there. Scene 2 the same. That which hath made them drunk hath made them bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire, hark, peace. It was the owl that shrieked the fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. He is above it. The doors are open, and surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Who's there? What ho? Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt, and not the dead, confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father, he slept I had done my husband.
Changing mags!
Time's over.
I have done the
Stand
deed.
by for
Didst thou
deployment
not
to the war
hear a
zone.
noise? I heard the owl scream and the crickers cry. Did not you speak? When? Now, as I descended. Aye. Hark! Who lies? I, the second chamber. Donalbain. This is a sorry sight. A foolish thought to say a sorry sight. There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other. I stood up and heard them. But they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
Gas is approaching your position. Move to the
There
safe
are
zone.
two lodged together. One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. As they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening in their fear, I could not say amen, when they did say, God bless us.
Moving here!
Consider it not so deeply. But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
Eliminate all
These
targets
deeds
in the
must not be thought of after the way, so it will make us
AO.
mad.
Tracked as the most wanted target. Eliminate
He thought
enemies
I heard a
and secure
voice
the supply
cry,
caches to
sleep
get
no
that
more.
target off their back.
MacBeth doth murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleep of care. The death of each day's life, sore labor's death, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast. What do you mean? Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house.
Enemies are dropping into
Glamis
the
hath
area.
murdered
Watch
sleep,
the
and therefore
skies.
Carter shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. Who was it that thus cried? Why were they vain? Do you unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sakely of things? Go get them some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hand.
Enemy 12 o'clock.
What did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them, and smear the sleepy grooms with blood. I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on't again, I dare not. Infirm of purpose. Give me his daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood, the fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt. Whence is that knocking? How is't with me, when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ah, they pluck out mine eyes with all great Neptune's ocean. Wash this blood clean from my hand. No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous cease incarnadine, making the green one red.
You kept your squad
My
mate
hands are
alive.
for your color,
Most wanted
but I shame
contact
to wear a
with
heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire me to your chamber. A little water clears. As for this deed, how easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us, and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts. To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I wouldst thou couldst. Scene 3, the same. Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were a Porterhell gate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? I, the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hangs himself in the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enough about you? Here you'll swear for it. Knock, knock. Who's there? I, the other devil's name. Faith. Here's
Squad
a
mate
equivocator.
in the safe zone.
That could swear in both the scales against either scale.
Good work.
Who
Hold down
committed
the point
treason,
until
enough for
secure.
God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven? Oh, wait. Come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Nay, faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of French those. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never quiet, what are you? But this place is too cold for hell. Nay, I'll divil polter at no further. I thought to have let in some all professions that go to Primrose Way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon, I pray you, remember the porter. Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do die so late? Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is the great provoker of three things. What three things does drink especially provoke? Mary, sir, knows painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore much drink may be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it makes mars him. It sets him on and it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. It makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep, and giving him the lie leaves him. I believe drink gave thee the lie last night. That it did, sir, I the very throat with me, but I requited him for this lie, and I think being too strong for him, though he took up my leg sometime, yet I made a shift to cast him. Is I master stirring? Our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes. Good morrow, noble sir. Good morrow, doth. Is the king stirring, worthy thane? Not yet. He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour. I'll bring you to him. I know this a durable trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
Took around.
The labor we delight in physique's pain. This is the door. I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service. Goes the king hence today? He does. He'd appoint so. The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And as they say, lamentines heard I the air, strange streams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamoured the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake. 'Twas a rough night. My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it. Oi, horror, horror, horror. Tongue, not heart, cannot conceive, nor name thee. What's the matter? Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life o'er the building. What is't you say, the life? Mean you his majesty? Approach the chamber and troy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake, awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donna Bane! Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep. Death's counterfeit and look on death itself. Up, up and see. The great doom's image. Malcolm, Banquo, is from your graves right up and walk the sprites. To countenance this horror, ring the bell. What's the business of such a hideous trumpet call to parlay the secrets of the house? Speak, speak. Oi, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in the woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oi, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered. Woe, alas, what in our house? Too cruel anywhere, dear Duff. I prithee, contradict thyself, and say it is not so. Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time, for from this instance there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys, renown, and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere less is left this vault to brag of. What is amiss? You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped. Your royal father is murdered. Away, by whom? Those of this chamber, as it seemed, had done 't. Their hands and faces were all bagged with blood. Nay, so were their daggers, which unwit we found upon their pillows. They were starved and were distracted in their lives. was to be trusted with them. Oi, yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill him. For so did you so? Who could be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment?
Gave it a solid try.
No man.
Time to head back to base.
The expedition of my violent love outran the positive reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed, stabbed, looked like a breach in nature for ruined, wasteful entrance. There the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make loves known? Help me hence, ho. Look to that lady. Why do we hold our tongues? The most may claim this argument for ours. What should be spoken? Here where our fate, hidden Augur Hall, may rush and seize us. Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed, nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion. Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer in exposure, let us meet, and question this most bloody piece of work. To know it further, fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice. And so do I. And so all, let's briefly put on manly readiness, and meet the hall together. Well contented. No, what will you do? Let's not consort with him. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office. With the false men does easy, I'll to England. To Ireland, our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer where we are. There's daggers in men's smiles, the near in blood, the near's bloody. This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals itself when there's no mercy left. Scene 4 the same without the castle. 70 I can remember well within the volume which time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this score night hath trifled former knowings. Ah, good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act. Threatens bloody stage. But the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travailing lamp. It's night's predominance, or the day's shame, that darkness does the face of earth's tomb, when living light should kiss it. 'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday's last, the Falcon Tower in a pride of place was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed. Nay, in Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of the race turn wild in nature, broke their stalls flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind. 'Tis said they eat each other. They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon't. Here comes the good MacBeth. How goes the world, sir, now? Why see you not? It's known who did this more than bloody deed. Those that MacBeth hath slain. Alas the day, what good could they pretend? They were suborned, Malcolm, and Donald Bane, the king's 2 sons, are stolen away and fled, which put upon them suspicion of the deed. 'Gainst nature's still, thriftless ambition that wilt raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like sovereignty will fall upon MacBeth. He's already named, and Gaunt is gone, to be invested. Where's Duncan's body? Carried to Comkill, the sacred storehouse of the predecessors and guardians of the bones. Will you to Scone? No, cousin Alpha 5. Well, I will thither. Well, may you see things well done there adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new. Farewell, father. God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Changing mags.
You were 1 of 25 remaining. Defeat is only a mindset. Shake it off and keep pushing.